is Chelsea Grove. I am from Selkirk, Manitoba. I'm a member of Peguis First Nation. I'm one of the survivors with the Survivor Circle. I guess leading up to the birth of my daughter, there is a lot going on, and not necessarily good things going on. Traumatic things, bad things, and just trying to like weave through life in the best way that I could. I had to stop my job. I worked as a community integration manager with therapy office. I have a criminal justice and psychology degree, and I used to work with inmates coming out of jail teaching life skills, and they took me off work because I was high risk, because I was diabetic, and I was followed by the Millennium Doctors in Selkirk, which is like for women who are pregnant and high risk. And so, like, I wasn't allowed to have my daughter in Selkirk. I had to come to Winnipeg. With my son, I had to be induced, but with her, I actually went into labor naturally, and she was premature. Like I said, I went into labor naturally. I couldn't get her out. She would come down, go back up, and then she decided to roll over. So I was like begging the doctor, like, please, like, get her out. And at first I was opting for the C-section because I didn't care. I was in so much pain. I just wanted her out. And then after reading the fine print, I didn't want to do that. And I let them use a vacuum. So yeah, they used a vacuum. One push, she came out, and then my doctor was like, "Okay, gotta go," and he left, and they cleaned me up. It was probably like all in total like a 10 minute situation, like, or the only time my mom never asked for their placenta, because she always asked for it. She always used to take my other nephews and nieces, and even my sons, out into the bush after they were born. And it was like the one time they didn't. Well, it just so happened the one time that she didn't ask for it, they didn't even take it out. And so I guess that was why it was so fast. He left like these residents with me who I'm assuming didn't deliver babies, or maybe didn't deliver babies much. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't think to take the rest of it out. And 3 weeks later, I was in the room with my daughter, and then I just felt a really big, like, gush. And so I threw a towel in my pants and I left. And the hospital in Selkirk let me sit there for 4 hours before they took me in to check me, or did an internal ultrasound, and it just so happened to be the doctor that delivered her that happened to be on shift that day. He messed this up, like, he can fix this, right? Like, because he literally left. He didn't teach these people how to deliver a baby properly, and like, he can fix this, because they didn't make it sound like it was even that important, really. And so I went back, and they knocked me out. And when I came to, I was talking to the nurse, and I was like, was there a lot in there? She's like, yeah, there's quite a bit. Like, it was like all of it was in there. And I got to the like recovery area, and he had left me a note, and it said, "Oh, well, there was only a little bit in there. You know, I got it out, whatever." Like, he totally said the exact opposite of what this woman told me, like, because she was in there with me when he was scraping me or whatever. And I got up to leave, and I felt like the same gush again. And then the next thing I know, I'm being wheeled into the maternity ward and surrounded by nurses, and they're like ripping my clothes off. And they're like taking birthing mats and they're throwing them on a weigh scale, because they're trying to weigh how much blood is coming out of me, like, as like I'm like literally bleeding to death. The doctor came in, and he's like, "How many kids do you want? Do you want two? Two, right? You only want two?" And I'm like, "Why do I want?" Well, I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I guess like when I was in there," he's like, "I guess I cut your cervix, and so if I don't make it stop, like, we're gonna go in and give you a hysterectomy, and like that'll be that." And then I started crying, and he told me that they're gonna put 2 Foley catheters inside me and inflate one with a balloon, and try to put pressure on my cervix so that it would clot and stop. And he turned around to the nurse and he's like, give her morphine. She complains, give her more. And he walked out and told my parents that I might die. He managed to get it to stop, actually, the bleeding to stop. But thankfully, I had my family in my house with me, right? And my cousin came to visit after that. And like a couple weeks, like she came in for medicine hat, and I told her what happened. And she's like, oh my God, Chell. She's like, that happened to a girl there too. She had her daughter the same week I had my daughter. And they left her placenta in too, and she hemorrhaged the same week I hemorrhaged, and she died, but I lived. What are the chances? Two doctors in two separate provinces in the same week do the same thing and make the same mistake, and her and I both had the same outcome, except her child's an orphan, and I was still alive at that point. I begged them to get my mother because she was a nurse, and I was like, she can handle it, please just get her, I don't want to die in here alone with you people. They wouldn't get my parents. I didn't think I wanted any more kids, but I didn't want someone to decide for me that was what was going to happen with my life.